Hello, everybody. Thank you so very much for clicking on. This is an episode that is a reaction to the movie Civil War. It opens wide, opens all across the country tomorrow. I had the opportunity, thanks to a very special friend, to go see the movie this afternoon, and I'm going to give a reaction to it. We'll be live tomorrow night at 9 p.m. right here on Eyes Open, and do some question and answer uh, about the movie if anybody so desires, as well as our normal content on Friday when Chris joins us at 9 p.m. So, the movie Civil War, for those that don't know, the title's rather obvious. Kristen Dunst, um, Wagner Moura, Jesse Plemons, Kaylee Spaney, Nick Offerman, Stephen McKinley Henn, and Sonia Menzu among those stars. Kristen Dunst plays Lee, a professional photographer. Um, Mora plays a reporter. Jesse Plemons plays someone that Kristen Dunst said her husband Jesse is her husband. Her husband did the role as a favor because no actor wants to be part of such a role. Um, Kaylee Spaney is the probably primary focus of the characterizations. Nick Offerman, you might know from Parks and Recreation. Um, a real, he's a, a stone faced comic. Um, Deadpan was the word I was looking for. A deadpan comic. He keeps a straight face in hilarious situations and says hilarious things and keeps a straight face. He was also in the ads for. He was in the initial campaign for the streaming product Sling. Those commercials. So those are the characters. Now, um, I actually took one of my notepads and I um, took notes through the movie, even though it was dark. Um, so the movie opens, and the president of the United States is getting ready to give a speech um, about a great victory, and the way that it was portrayed, uh, and Trump came to mind. I'm not trying to put that in anybody's heads or anything. That's just what came to my mind when I saw the initial scene. The first thing I wrote down in the notes was Trump. Um, but it does not allude. The movie does not allude to um, either political party. Um, I will say it is not what I expected, and it portrays a civil war in the United States. It doesn't say who started it, why it started, how it started, when it started. Um, and I don't want to say a whole lot more because I don't want to ruin it for anybody, because I do recommend you go see this movie. Um, the second thing I wrote down um, was the American flag being a sign of a suicide bomber. Um, the extremism that we think of in other faiths other than Christianity. The extremism of suicide bombers is um, is evident in this movie. Um, Another thing that I found interesting, especially after the episode we did last night, where I laid out what I thought would be coming after the eclipse is now past. Um, Canadian money is um, a factor in the movie. I would hope that people would see this film and it would be a wake up call. Okay, a wake up call to our country. Um, the militia. I mentioned this. I caught this when I did the episode on the preview of this movie several months back. The militia have a boogaloo tie. The Boogaloo Boys. The Boogaloo Boys were in the Hawaiian shirt motifs, and in the movie, in the preview, you can catch it if you watch the preview. Uh, the militia, um, whatever that means, are identified as Boogaloo, and I say whatever that means because lines lines are blurred in this movie. It's not a confrontation of a direct confrontation. There are blurred lines as far as who's fighting who, and and for some it doesn't matter, um, which is a I'm afraid it is um, a pretty valid prediction of what would happen here if it did happen here, and it's the portrayal of the war. We do not want this here, and I think it is a very accurate portrayal of battle. The battle scenes, the just I think it's a very accurate portrayal of what life would be like here, including those that are pretending nothing's happening, nothing's going on, because it's not going on where they individually are. Again, I highly recommend you go check the movie out. Um, the contrast from what's happening in the cities as juxtaposition to what's happening in the smaller towns stood out for me as well. People taking the law into their own hands, as we've talked about on this show many times, and again, finally, how realistic the battle scenes were, and how um, how in war, uh, how life is devalued in war, and I hope that it is a reminder. I hope it is a wake up call for all of us. I hope it is a reminder to not ever let this happen here in our country, and it's not too late to stop that. Thanks for tuning in. Hit the subscribe, hit the like, hit the share. I'll see you tomorrow night at 9. I love you all. Peace. It's a dark world. Try to be a light.